Hey guys, welcome back to rhrjen. I'm so glad you're here. Honk honk, everyone. Guys, okay, some weird stuff is going on. I don't know if I'm releasing this Sunday. I'm recording this Sunday night. It'll either come out Sunday night or Monday morning, but I want to talk about it. Megan's up to some stuff, and I just noticed it, and I have so many thoughts on it. I want to get your thoughts on it too. She put out a new video, and it's weird. What else is new? But I want to talk about it as we rapidly approach the Netflix with love, Meghan. Can I roll my eyes harder? Right. With love, Meghan. She's doing more weird things and I want to talk about it. But again, I'm Jen. Thank you so much for being here. Honk, honk, everyone. Okay, let's talk. Yeah. So Meghan just put out an Instagram video as I'm recording this, and I've now watched it about 100 times. So I want you to watch it. So I'm going to let it play and then we're going to discuss it because I have so many thoughts. Again, I'm Jen. Thanks so much for being here. Now let's take a look. If you haven't subscribed, do make sure you're subscribed because I'm driving to 200,000 and I can do it with your help. So make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up, all the stuff, Okay. Let's take a look at the video, shall we? So this just popped up on Instagram. I'm going to let it play. It's 1 minute long. We're going to watch. I'm going to break it all down for you. But in case you haven't seen it, here you go. Apologies if you've seen it. Here you go. All right. I'm going to make it bigger.
Only if you want me.
Okay, let's talk about it. So the first time I saw, I was like, well, what is this nothingness? But I think there's a lot to this. And I think I want to put out some theories and I want to talk to you about it. And I might just let it play without sound in the background as I dissect it because I have lots of thoughts on this. But the first thing that I think is worth noting, and I think it plays a pivotal role in all this because you ask yourself, why on a Sunday evening? Granted, they're 3 hours behind me. So why? Yeah, still Sunday evening. Why would she put this out? Well, I'm sure it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It never is. I'm sure it's a coincidence. But as you may or may not know, Jason Knauf spoke up today. That's right. So breaking his silence, Jason Knauf went on, I believe, 60 Minutes to discuss the bullying allegations. Now, I'm still working my way through it. As I can tell at the time of this recording, I haven't heard anything new. It's still the accusations. He still says he stands by everything that's happened. So it's not that he's changed his accusations, but I don't think it's anything new. It's the same accusations as before. But I'm not dismissing it. I'm not saying it like that. Let me try again. It's important. We should be discussing this. We need to discuss it more. I want to let whomever wants to get out of their NDAs. I wish that was a thing. I can't speak to the legal side of it or how that works, but I just don't think it's right that they be upheld if what they're implying happened because it sounds pretty awful. But anyway, interesting to me that on the same night that he's back in the news with these bullying allegations resurfacing and talking about it, that she happens to it's what happens to launch this video. So that's the first thing I want to point out. Now let's go back to the video itself and take a look. Okay. So just off the top of my head, okay, I'm going to be pausing it as we talk. So just then you saw that, right? Let me play again. Okay. So here's her Instagram page there. Right off the bat, feet. What? Feet. I used to yell teeth, so now I got to yell feet. Why is that weird? Well, it's so weird. Again, as somebody who is not a fan of her own feet, I have the same feet as Meghan, long, skinny toes. It's fine. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But I know I will never show my feet you won't see them. You won't see my feet in videos. My focus will never be my feet. I would never wear the weird shoes she wears where her toes hang out and stuff. Like, I just don't, as somebody who can't stand my own feet, why would I draw attention to it? So she loves to draw attention to it. And I kept thinking about this because she did the same thing in the beach video. And I thought, why would you do that if you are known to not like your feet or not, like with the surgeries and stuff? It's weird. I have a theory on this too. I started thinking, what would be the point of that? I think it's to show she's grounded. So, excuse me. Again, think about what's happening tonight with the bullying allegations being launched. Well, you wouldn't want to come across, even though we know the truth, you wouldn't want to come across as high maintenance or difficult or anything like that. You'd want to be grounded. So I think it has to do with quite literally feet in the grass, ground, like, look at me. I'm one of you, peasants, whatever, commoners. But I think she's trying to show she's grounded. Okay, so if you notice on the screen, it says break from work to take in the weekend. Okay, all right. Who are we kidding with that? Break from what work? What work would that be? What are we talking about? Break from work to take in the weekend. Oh, she's working so hard, you guys. That 1 hour a week is so hard. It's too hard. No, but break from work to take in the weekend. Okay, so already setting the tone. Victim, girl boss, somewhere in between, probably. Again, the Netflix show drops next week. So to me, this just screams an advertisement back to that, although I don't see that it's named in this. It just, you'll see where we're going with this as we continue on, but seems to be a callback to that if you ask me. But I'm very busy and important. I think that was off Anchorman. I'm very busy and important. Okay. Sure you are, Maggie. Sure you are. All right. Break from work. That will never not be funny. The other thing I want to mention just as an overview is we'll get to the kid. We see a kid arm, no mention or reference to that I could tell of has. Now, there is one voice at the end that might possibly be an allusion to has, but I don't think H has anything to do with this. I just don't. Okay, let's continue on and talk about what we see. All right. So there's that. Okay. So again, so it's out. It's supposed to be. So the other thing that strikes me is we know that the Netflix show was not filmed at her house. It's been all over the news. People have talked about it. Whose yard was she gardening in? So is this meant to be her house? Well, I will show you something coming up in regard to that, but is this just in general, is this meant to be her house? Okay, so then we go up to this pond. Just nature. Okay, dog. This is terrible, but in my notes I wrote dead dog. Sorry. But that dog that passed, whether you believe it was a few weeks ago or a few months ago or somewhere in between, I tend to fall somewhere in between, but the dog had passed away. She caught so much flack, rightly so, because it was the most narcissistic post you've ever seen in your life, where it was, look at me, not my dog. I believe it was Guy that passed away. So Guy showing the dog's rear rather than the dog's face. I went over, you can find the whole video. I could not stop laughing because it was the most narcissistic dead dog post I've ever seen in my life. But to me, I think this is interesting because this is what she does. She rewrites history. So she's rewriting history. She's rewriting Google searches, things like that. So that way, if you look up Meghan dog, something like this might pop up, not the fact that she took 100,000 pictures of her dog's rear iris. You know what I'm talking about. She took pictures up the dog's hole to get pictures of herself. She had an assistant or somebody, or maybe her purse assistant, aka H. I'm guessing he's not helping her at all, and vice versa. But some assistant somewhere had to get down and take a picture of her dog's rear iris to get Meghan's face. So I feel like, again, catching so much flack from that, she decided she's going to rewrite it. And so I love dogs. I'm good with dogs. Plus, they caught so much hell. Let us not forget, even though nobody watched that Polo documentary, they caught hell over the animal cruelty there too. So it's a common thing coming up with those two. Something great you want to be known for, right? Absentee parenting and terrible to animals. So Anyway, but I think it's just an interesting, like, look at this dog. I love this dog. Now I do want to play something for you. I had a little help on this video, and by that I mean my Gosling. I showed her this video and I said, "Hey Gosling, what are your thoughts on this?" She had an interesting point, and I'm going to play. She actually talked quite a bit, which was cute. I'm going to play just little snippets as we go, but I want you to hear this part because she had an interesting point about the dog. Let me get Gosling up on the screen here. Now, we don't show the Gosling. I don't say the Gosling's name. If you're new here, she's just the Gosling. She's my baby goose. But baby goose had some thoughts, and so baby goose voiced them, and I put detective geese over top because she's a detective. Let's see if I have the part ready to go.
I just saw that video. That reminds me, I was reading the font, and I noticed that font is like where like the moms are like trying to be like cool, like preppy kind.
I think that's funny. She's pointing out that she's trying to be a cool mom with the font. Let me get to the dog part. So you see that a lot online?
They're like, look at me and my son. We're doing like picking out
That's a baby. Look at me, by the way.
oranges at the farm, or like strawberries at the strawberry farm. I also noticed she was trying to also like be like, oh, look at our dog, but focus on me. Look at me.
Wow.
Because she's like, oh, look at the dog. Now look at me.
Okay, so that's so funny to me. I did not tell her to say this. Gosling picked up on this. She thinks that Meghan was using this dog to get attention for herself. Brilliant. I mean, she's single digits. My kid can figure this out. Everybody can figure this out. Meghan can't figure this out. Her followers can't figure it out, but everybody else can figure it out. I just find that so funny. The Gosling unprompted said that. She's using this dog to try to get attention. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Exactly. I just thought that was really funny. Well done, Detective Gosling. Okay, I'm sure we'll be hearing from her as this video continues, but let's keep going with this. Okay, so here we are with the dog. So weird. Okay, now this is interesting to me too. All right. So first of all, what is that on the tree? Yeah, I don't know either. It looks like a eggplant or aubergine shaped apple. I don't know. I kept looking like, what is that thing? I don't know. But look behind it. What do you see? I see a house. Do you see a house? I see a house. I see a blurred house. Why would I see that? I think it's to clap back at all the flack she caught for not posting or not filming at her house. Is this her house? Probably not. Is she pretending like it's her house? Probably. She doesn't specifically address it, so I'm just guessing here. But in my opinion, it seems like she wants us to think, whether it is or isn't, that this is her house, that it's about, I wrote some notes, so I'm just looking at my notes here. It's about authenticity, some of her favorite word salad buzzwords, family, home, all things that she's going to try to push next week, right? With her Netflix show. Now, again, she doesn't specifically say the Netflix show, but she's trying to, in my opinion, she seems to be trying to reiterate, underline, exclamation point, some of those ideas that I love my family. Look at my home. Authenticity and but all it screams to me is influencer. Everything is posed, everything is contrived. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, let's continue on with this. I do want to unmute for a minute, and I apologize, but listen. That's the other thing I can't help but notice. In parts of this, it is very loud. Very loud. And I was thinking, what would be the point of that? And I don't know. But to me, it screams, if you look at it and you don't really think about it, okay, if you hear loud noises like that, to me, I think, oh, it's productivity. It's things being done in the background. I heard it as like people mowing lawns and things, right? I had other friends watch it and they thought it was like maybe a water pump or something. Whatever it is, it's productivity, it's work in the background. Okay. What is she actually doing? Not working, talking about work, alluding to work, but not actually working, showing some bullshit around her property. I don't know, whatever. So I think that was very intentional. I think nothing Meghan does is by accident, because why film right then? My first thought was, why would you film right then? Why wouldn't you wait till after they were done mowing the lawn or the pump was off or whatever that loud noise is. It's so loud. It's actually distracting. But then it occurred to me, no, I think she's trying to underline productivity. Let's continue on. Oops. There too. Listen. That sounds like yard work to me. Okay. Weird. And I meant to say in the last screen, she references blooms. Okay. Let me see. Hold on one second. I did get some screenshots from this. I'll see. There's dog, water. There's that. Here we go. First bloom and blossom of the year. And you know what made me kind of, oh, there's the house in the background more clearly. What is that fruit? What is that? Or is that an olive? I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know. I don't garden clearly, but what is this? I'd like to ask Megan specifically what it is because I bet you she can't tell you what it is. All right. First blooms and blossoms of the year. Okay. So she's spring, optimism. Like these are just things off the top of my head that she's trying to push, right? My thought on this is, ooh, bad choice in bloom. If you know, you know. All right. If you don't know and you're like, what are you talking about? Bloom. Lily Bloom. Who's Lily Bloom? Lily Bloom is the character that Blake Lively is playing in This Ends With Us. Guys, if you didn't watch my This Ends With Us, go watch it. I sat down with that very nice guy, John Witherspoon. He's the attorney that answered all of our questions about Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and the lawsuit and all this. I'm telling you, this is going to be big. It's going to be the next big, hypothetically, allegedly, in my opinion, narcissism thing that's coming out. So you go watch that. Not many people watch it. Go watch it. It's so good. Okay. Anyway, but Bloom, it was all about blooms. A lot of that movie had to do with blooms. Her name, the character's name was Lily Bloom. She owned a flower shop. A lot of the marketing had to do with blooms. Blake got it wrong and sold it as a rom-com and talked about blooms. Blooms continues to play a role in this. So it's funny to me that she used the word bloom. I say that because now people are very much comparing Blake to Meghan and other, in my opinion, seemingly narcissistic people like Amber Heard. So bloom it is. Bloom it is. Okay, let's go back to the video. Oops. Or I can take it down. That works too. Here we go. All right. So bloom and then, oh, here you go. Let's talk about this. All right. Let me back this up. Merching the kids. Now we only have one kid here. It is my belief that this is Archie. It looks like Archie to me. I think she even says under her breath something about Archie. I'm going to unmute it and let it play because I think this scene is important. Listen. Oh, so loud. So having a kid moment. Okay. So again, if you don't think about it, and this is somebody else or you see it on TV, you think, okay, watering the lawn, talking to a kid. But really think about the logistics of this, okay? So I'm watering my lawn. This is me watering my lawn. I'm watering my lawn. I'm talking to my kid. But am I doing it like this? Because she seems to be doing it like, I don't know, like this. Unless there's an assistant, unless she's watering. This is me watering, by the way. I'm really good at this. And her assistant's like reaching around her and filming right here, which nothing would shock me. But she's like, let me back that up. Let's see how she's filming it because I'm genuinely curious. I'm going to mute it because I can't handle that noise anymore. All right, watch. Here you go. Yep. She's like, water. I'm watering my lawn. Watering my lawn. Oh, there's a child here. Child arm. Here you go. Okay, so now I want to bring back in the Gosling because she did have a thought on Archie being in the video. So let's take a listen real quick and see what she had to say because I thought this was a pretty good point. Anything else that you notice? Like she has her kid's hand in the video.
Yeah, she's like, oh, look at my kid. That he can do it. He's a star.
But also, look at my kid, but don't look too closely at my kid because I want you to look at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your famous words.
She said it was my famous words. Look at me. Look at my kid. Don't look at my kid. Look at me. Yeah. Thank you, Gosling, for that. Okay, but there's something else. Okay, so it's the fact that there's a child. So look at me. I'm maternal. Okay. There's just an arm. So look, but don't look too much. A hint of a child, but look at me. Keep attention on me. A hint of a child, but I'm going to merge that child. So I can't show too much of it. I just have the feeling that that's coming. The other thing I want to point out, that's something I talked about on a live that I can't shake, which is so her whole thing is online safety. I'm using Joey's air quotes on that because I don't believe that's her actual thing. In my opinion, her thing seems to be silencing critics, like First Amendment's bonkers and all that her dumb husband said, but trying to shut down free speech any way they can, except for when they want to talk under the guise of child safety. I talk about this a lot. I won't let this go. They attach their names to causes like that, where when you hear it and you think, well, yeah, of course, we all want to keep kids safe, right? Nobody wants to say, oh, let's hurt some kids online. That's terrible. So if they attach their names to it, and it's like it's trying to, again, silence critics. The irony is not lost on me. So that way you don't try to fight it. But when you really look into it and you start seeing, you're like, no, that's not what it is. They don't want you saying certain things online. They're just attaching their names to these things, these causes that sound good in theory, but that are not. So the online cause is about protecting your children from online, whatever their squad members are doing, basically. Okay. So how does she do that? By putting her kid online. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. You cannot. And here's my honest feeling on all this. If you want to put your kid online, put your kid online. If you don't want to, don't do it. I personally don't believe in it. It's my choice on my child, so I don't do it. Yes, you get to hear her voice. That's it. Because she's not old enough to decide for herself. I still, even now, when we filmed the voice thing, I ask her, would you like to do this? Would you like to help on this video? There are times where she says, no, thanks. That's it. That's my answer. She's not working. She's, you know what I mean? She's a child. I think that's just good parenting. Plus, I just want to protect my child. I don't, you know what I mean? I know the criticism I get. I'm not going to expose her to anything like that. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm saying it's just normal parenting. I think 99% of us would do the same. But here's Meghan preaching this online safety, putting her kids out there. Just saying. But not enough to where I think it's just enough for her liking to get attention, but not enough to suppress future marketing, which I believe is what's going to happen, and not enough to get the attention off her. I think it's all about the attention on her. Okay. There's something else about the scene I want you to look at that it has been bugging me. Let me back it up. There's something else that's obvious here that I'm going to point out. Don't let any other influencer say this. I said it first. You ready? Okay. Here's what I notice. The water. The wildfires, right? So I have been looking into it, and I'll let you guys in California explain it back to me because, again, I'm trying to get this video out, and I just kind of did some preliminary research. But from what I could tell, everything is pointing to you shouldn't be wasting water, especially in California with the wildfires still happening and all the awfulness. I found this website here that is, it's the .gov. So it's water.california.gov. And the first thing that pops up is about the wildfires and about a drought. So I'm not one that's usually like a conspiracy theory. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. If you know me, you know. In fact, before I get into that, let me show you this. So Montecito Water District, they talk about don't waste water. You can see it right here. I pulled this straight from the website. Don't waste water. Okay, so something is clearly going on. Now, I'm not ever one that's like, oh, they should be arrested. Oh, I get it. People are going to water their lawns. It's fine. What I don't get is putting it up on, sorry. What I don't get is putting it up on your social media. I'm going to play this again. Showing yourself, and maybe I have this a little wrong. I don't live in California, so maybe the rules are a little different. But when I see things like that, then I immediately think, why are you posting online videos of yourself just pissing water away? I don't know how else to say it, just willy-nilly. I mean, if you notice, it's not just a little bit of water. There is no spray nozzle on the head of that thing. I mean, it's just water, water, water. Here you go, Archie, water, water, water. So again, this might be a bit of a stretch, but it's worth mentioning, especially in a state that's been having problems, still dealing with wildfires and all that. And as somebody who is out there filming themselves walking through the devastation, in my opinion, seemingly disrupting the devastation, and yet you're going to film yourself water, 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 water. It's just an insensitive, it's Meghan, right? Again, I don't usually go in that direction because I also understand reality. You're probably still going to water your plants, but are you going to film it? Meghan would. She just doesn't think. She doesn't think about anybody herself. So there's that. Okay, let's keep going. So we have presumably, I'm assuming it's Archie and his little hand there. I don't talk about the kids, whatever kids they're watering. Great. I think it's interesting that again, it's look at me, don't look at my kid. And I'm maternal. I know I've caught a lot of flack because of everything, but disappearing on the kids constantly. But I'm maternal because look, here's a little arm. Okay, great. So if I pick up just a random piece of exercise equipment, does that mean I'm supermodel shape? No, it doesn't. Just because you're close to something doesn't make it if that makes sense. I could pick up $100 bill. It doesn't mean I'm rich. It means I'm holding $100 bill. Is my point. But yeah, so here's a little hand. And again, that water thing is just weird to me. Why would you do that? Again, she doesn't think about stuff like that. I think it's all meant to be cultivating. What are the buzzwords? Like, let's see, I have the list right here. It's like, yeah, authentic family, home, producing. Yeah, there you go. All right. I'm dying to look at this part, guys. Look at this. Okay. Obviously, we know this. We've seen this. Where have we seen this? Oh, yeah, here. This is where we saw this. Diana, famously, in the Northwestern sweatshirt. I put out a video before where I asked, is this why Meghan picked Northwestern? Anybody else? I'd be like, no. Meghan? Probably. Do you think she picked the college so that way she could have an in with Hasno balls? Be like, I went to the school where your mom was wearing the shirt. I'm sure it was one of the things she fed him when she first started talking to him. Harry, that shirt your mom was wearing. That's where I went to school. And Harry's like, oh my God. Oh. Anyway, yeah, famous picture of Diana. By the way, great legs. I know she's so much more than that, but beautiful legs. Okay. That's weird to say, but every time I see this photo, I'm like, oh, beautiful legs. Okay. Northwestern shirt. So, of course, Meghan has to have a Diana reference. Now, watch this. This part of the video, I swear, you guys, I've watched seriously 100 times. I just want you, I'm going to watch it in silence. Just watch. And then we're going to talk about this at length. Watch her. Oh, yeah. Let me back it up. Sorry. Okay, baby hand, and then here. What was that? There was nobody that she seemed to be interacting with. She's just pretend laughing to the camera. That manic veneered smile that I can't make any sense out of. I'm just going to play again because now that you know what you're looking for, just watch because it's truly bizarre to me. What second does it start at? Okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay, just watch. It's just... What was that? Like, what are we doing? What is that? What is that about? What I'm guessing her Netflix show, she talks about friendships and stuff. Is this meant to be, we're friends? Look, friends, I'm fun. I'm giggling. I'm not this horrible monster that everybody is proving that I seem to be, allegedly. Those bullying reports that are resurfacing and people are talking about again. I'm not that. Like, no. To me, it just kind of points to maybe you are that because where there's smoke, there's fire. Sorry, bad pun for California, but you know what I'm talking about. No, but seriously, like enough people say something about you, you start to wonder, hey, there might be something there. To me, it just seems like a distraction. And I got to point out, bad taste, putting the right after the wasting of the water. Again, anybody else I wouldn't really think about, but with her, calculated. Wasting water, California, droughts, wildfires, all that, Probably shouldn't be using it. Weird. The whole thing is weird. Okay, let's move on. You know, picking fruit as you do while filming yourself. Influencer. That's all I could think of with this. Influencer. What are we doing? Okay. Citrus, not a lemon. But it's to do this. It's to, in my opinion, it seems to be to tie into this. Whatever's going on here. Whatever that drink is. I don't drink. You guys can let me know. To me, it looks like some sort of fizzy, like wine or champagne or something. But I understand it's not a champagne glass. Whatever this is, I don't care. But squeezing orange into it or whatever that citrus is, it looks like an orange to me. But I'm making this face too. Oh, Megan. Always. What do you see? Do you notice it? I do. Allow me. Let's see here. Oh, excuse me. I wasn't even thinking. What am I doing with myself? Hold on. Allow me 1 second. I'm stalling because I didn't prep this right. Here we go. Look at my jewel. Oh, look at my jewelry. Oh, we need a drink. Oh, look. I'm elevating a Coke Zero with my very expensive, very expensive jewelry. Oh, it's not enough that I'm wearing this sweater that Diana was wearing. I need to show you that what may or may not be her watch. Every time I talk about it, I get a million comments. It's not her watch. Okay. It is her watch. It is her watch. I don't care. What Megan's trying to do is allude to her watch. Look at my jewelry. Oh, it's so weird. It's so freaking weird. It is. This is another moment where it's like, don't talk about my bowling. Let's see how friendly and fun I am. Said nobody ever. Let's see what a great mom I am. Said no one ever. Let's see me garden and tend to this stuff. But also look at my jewelry. You know, when you wear your really expensive jewelry out to do gardening and play with your children outside. No, me neither, because it makes no sense. All right, so this is the end of the video. Whatever she's drinking here, whatever is supposed to be happening, it's like, to me, this is just the ultimate of the influencer, filming your food, filming your drinks. It's like going to a bar and they give you a specialty cocktail, but instead of like paying attention to it, you see these girls or whatever, these people. You know what I mean? Instead of just like being there like, oh, cool, look at that. Just influencer BS, if you ask me. And I'm going to mute because it kind of goes into there's just nothing else of note to sound. Some song vaguely in the distance, but I noticed something else. Look. Do you see it? Is that mint? Is that mint over there? That looks like mint. See? I want to show you on here. See the orange? I want to point up under there. I can't. Okay. 1 orange, 2 orange slice, further orange slice just below it. Mint. Looks like it to me. Mint. Elevating with mint. What's funny to me is I can't really see because the lights are basically in my eyeballs. Hold on. I can pull a picture right now. What's in that bowl? Hold on. I'll pull it right now. We'll look together. Oh, yep. Okay. I was going to say, yeah. Everything's elevated, guys. Don't you worry because it looks like there's, I know it's blurry. Looks like there's mint in there. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see it. Looks like there's mint and it looks like there's lemons. Always lemons in a bowl. Fear not. I know you were worried. Always lemons in a bowl. What? Can you imagine basing your whole personality on lemons? On lemons. It's the same thing with her whole personality on dish soap. Yeah, so then that's it. That's it for the video there. I mean, that's it for what she posted. I just had a few more thoughts I just want to go back over. I took so many notes on this thing. I just want to talk about it. Okay, so Jason Knauf, we talked about that. Laughing at the insensitivity. This whole thing was meant to appear spontaneous. That seems to be her go-to move lately. To me, in my opinion, it seems to come off as very manic. That's just the vibe I get. It's like a desperation. Think about it. Next week is Netflix, right? What else does she have? If this doesn't work, which I don't think it will, we'll see. If this doesn't work, what else does she have? This is literally it, in my opinion, it seems like. So she needs this thing to work. So it's a manic energy. It's a desperate energy. It's desperate to distract from whatever Jason Knauf is saying. It's desperate to distract from the bullying allegations that are coming back around. It's desperate to get people to believe that she's this person that's whatever, growing things and spending time with kids and making cocktails, right? Desperate, desperation, desperado. That's the vibes I'm getting from it. I'm going to start this again and see if there's anything else. Let's see. Diana's shirt we talked about. Let's blurry home is weird. Authentic garden. I'd love to know if this is actually her garden. I highly doubt it. We'll see. She seems to be leaving Easter eggs throughout this thing. That was something that I kept thinking. I think with the Diana of it all, with the dog of it all, it just seems like she's trying to clap back at us. Just my opinion there. The work, saying that she had to take a break from work. Okay, sure. Her own garden, laughing at no one, laughing off the haters, clapping back, whatever it is she thinks she's doing. I don't know. Again, the producing things, people working around her with all the noise, laughing sunshine friend. I don't know. I don't know. Spontaneous. These are all words I wrote down. But yeah, that's it. That's what I got from this post. So now it's your turn. I need you to chime in the comments. Let me know what you got from this. What did I miss? Because I've now watched this thing 100 times since it came out. I'm still so stuck on the part. It just haunts me to my soul. It really does. I don't know what that's about. I find that especially odd and eerie. There is a voice at the very end. It's, to me, I couldn't really tell what she says, and it may possibly be a hint of Harry's voice. I don't believe it. I don't believe he's there. I don't believe she was talking to him in the last video. I don't believe she's talking to him in this video. So there's that. Now it's your turn. Chime in the comments. Tell me everything I've missed. What is that fruit? What am I looking at? What is this? What is this place? Do you think this is their house? All of it. Am I way off on the water thing? Do you find that completely rude and insensitive like everything else? Yeah, me too. When was this filmed? Do you think this is an old video because she likes to do that? Do you think she had this banked? Do you think she was like, oh crap, got wind of the Jason Knauf thing coming out and decided, well, I got to do something quick. So here we go. My suspicion would be she had something banked with this, getting ready for the Netflix, knowing that, because it ties, to me, it seemingly ties back into the Netflix of it all, but maybe launched it quick to try to get attention away from the Jason Knauf. I don't know. Any of these could be valid options, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for being here. You mean the whole wide world to me. I appreciate you all. Thank you to the Gosling for your help on this video. Thank you, everybody who chimed in to help. And I appreciate you so much. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Oh boy, next week's going to be a doozy, isn't it? I'm here for that. I'm going to continue to talk about this stuff as it comes out, and I will be watching the show next week. Don't encourage you to watch it. Don't feel like you have to. I'll be covering it. I'll try to get with our faves, see if we can do some collabs as well, make this more fun, have some laughs. But as always, thank you guys for being here. Do make sure you're subscribed. It really does help me out. Make sure you're leaving comments, hitting the thumbs up. If you don't know what to comment, you can always write honk honk. I appreciate those so much. All right, talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye. Honk honk.